Next up is a speaker that has everything experienced when it comes to security in the IT space. He is not only someone that has been hacked before, his Netflix account got hacked, his Skype account got hacked, he also works in this field. So he's actually an expert and will talk a lot, will tell us a lot more today about the continuous product security that we have for our products here at the TX Group. I welcome to the stage Andreas Schneider.
Thanks. So welcome everybody, nice to be here. So it's my second visit. This is my hoodie from last year, so it was an amazing conference last year. This is a new setup for me, but it's also super amazing being here. So I'll talk about continuous product security. My official title is Chief Information Security Officer, so more or less I'm defending all of you that belong to our group against hackers. And I'm always happy to give advice to those who are not part of our group, how to do security. So how do you do continuous product security? By the way, I love movies, you will see that. So this is the way how to do that. I love, for those who know The Mandalorian, great series, I'd love that everyone would be Mandalorian because all of them just say, oh, that's the way, this is the way. That's not the reality. Most people complain about security. It's too difficult, a burden for them. But I'll try to explain how to do continuous product security. And mostly it's about these ones. For those who haven't seen that, that's Starship Troopers, must see all of that. So these are bugs. And fighting bugs, that's what product security mostly is about. You have to create a product that has no bugs and no vulnerabilities, then you are good. Before we go into the technical part, before you focus on finding the best tool to fix it, you have to have the best people. So if you have, let's call them shitty developers, no tool will rescue you. You will have a bad product. So the first thing is concentrate on your people and then on the tools. We will talk about the tools. So it's about fighting these bugs. And it's about chocolate. So specifically, it's about bounty. So for those who read more than the title, so bug and bounty, so it's about bug bounty, something that we have introduced for a couple of products and companies in our group. Then, like that, I love movies. The left one is the old Battlestar Galactica silent. So the machines, these are the ones that are hunting. And there are two types. The machines that are quite good. So, and on the right side, it's not me, even if it's the same hairdresser he has. It's the Hitman. But it's a combination between machines and humans. So humans are usually very good. But if you watch the movies, usually humans win. And in reality, it's the same. Humans win over machines. But it's still good to have a machine. For me, I have an easy haircut with my machine. So I think Harry also has the same hairdresser like I have. So that's the short hairdresser. And this really helps concentrating on other stuff. So if we make a little deep dive, what continuous product security is really about. This is a blueprint that's actually a black print, but it shall be a blueprint, but I didn't want to change the color. So how do you do continuous product security? So next to the people and the developers, we usually use a couple of tools. On the left side, you have, for example, deep code. That's machine learning that you can plug into your repository and it finds flaws in your code. So this helps you, before you have something on production, really finding flaws in your code. The same for Sonar Cloud. Almost everyone is using that, so the combination really works well. And then we use Detectify, that's a commercial web application scanner, to find flaws in products. So this also helps. And then the icon on the lower left side, that's Dependabot. But it's important to find outdated libraries. Today, many attacks happen just because you have not updated your libraries you use in your products. So this is all machine stuff. These are tools that really help you. On the right side, we have an audit company that we partner with, that's SCRT from Lausanne. They do a great job in finding bugs in doing pen tests, and then we have the bug bounty program. I will talk about that later. Around that, we have, with an Israeli company, that's Cyber, we have a threat monitoring and detection platform where we collect all the log files from AWS, Google Cloud Platform, from the G Suite, Okta, everything, and try to find attacks against our products. And then on the lower right side, we have Okta, that's our identity system. So this would be all the stuff, and I could talk hours about how you really do continuous product security in there. What we will do, or what I will do, I will focus just on Detectify and Bugcrowd to help you understanding what this really is about and doing the best combination out of it. Let's go to the machine. So the machine, that's Detectify. So that's a commercial web application scanner that, for example, Atlassian or Spotify also use. So you run it against your web application, and it finds all the flaws you have in there. The good thing about it, it's not just a database of vulnerabilities. It's enriched with crowdsourced findings. That sounds great, so that's good marketing. Crowdsourced is fantastic today. This means researchers, if they find flaws, for example, somewhere at Spotify in a product they use, they can submit that finding to Detectify, and Detectify automatically scans for that in other products, even if it's not yet known in the public that this is a real flaw. So it's an enhanced automation scanner for vulnerabilities. We use that for a couple of platforms, and the good thing is you have a lot of integration possibilities. Never buy something without API access, because if you have API access, you can integrate it in your CI/CD pipeline. So Spotify, for example, if they deploy, they really, for every deployment, it runs through their CI/CD pipeline, and then it triggers a scan. And it only continues if the scan has finished without any flaws. We are not there yet, but we are trying to achieve that. This is for the 20 minutes one. You see, high means really bad. No really bad stuff happening. We run that scheduled. For some products, we do that daily. For some, we do that weekly. But you see, it's changing. So for medium and low findings, new come up, they are fixed, and then they disappear. This is how it usually looks like. It's not that fantastic, but it's easy product just to use it. It's a SaaS application. More fantastic is, for me, the manual, the human work. So hunting for bounties. This is something what we do. So we pay hackers outside to find vulnerabilities in our products, and then we pay them money for that. That's the bug bounty program. Before I make a deep dive, this is a quote from the Swiss Post from August. So they claim we are probably almost the only company in Switzerland that uses bug bounty program for additional security. Without any comment from my side, yes, maybe. We run 4 bug bounty programs since the beginning of the year. We have HomeGate, 20 Minutes, Tamedia, and JobCloud. We plan to onboard all of our digital companies to that bug bounty programs that feel that they are ready for that. And I'm creating a package like a security marketplace for our minority companies, so the ventures that we have, so that really little startups can also benefit from such a bug bounty program. Because if you do that by your own, it's really hard work. So you can use that scaling factor that we have in the group and benefit from something like that. So how does it look like? This is 20 minutes. 20 minutes did a refresh of the whole product beginning of this year. December was a public beta. We did a manual audit with our external partner, and they found 5 vulnerabilities in 5 days. That's not bad. It is a good product. Directly after that, we started with the bug bounty program. We said, okay, let's make it private, 25 researchers, and it's first come, first serve. So the researchers, they really sit in front of their computers, and if the time starts ticking, they really start attacking your platform. And they're really, really high-skilled researchers. Directly on the first day, they found 8 vulnerabilities. And it cost almost nothing, but they found one critical vulnerability that was really super critical. I would have paid much more than the overall we paid out for them. But then it dropped down. So what we then did is we extended the amount of researchers. It came up again. We extended it, and you see the second wave is not a corona wave. it's a wave where we said we will open it up. So we said, okay, we don't limit it on researchers. Everyone on that Bugcrowd platform can join. And right now we have, it's an outdated number, we have almost 700 researchers looking for bugs in 20 minutes. And you see it's really now dropping down. It's the numbers from last week. So you can say 1 to 2 vulnerabilities per month you find with that. And we paid out in 1 year $20,000. Sounds much for some, but actually it is not. It's peanuts if you compare it to other measures you have to take for security. The good thing is the payout is done by Bugcrowd, not by us. So that's important because some researchers want to have Bitcoin, the others want to be paid in PayPal, the next has something else. So this is handled by someone else. That's why we partnered with companies that is really specialized on that. Then they really validate the researchers. They do ID validation, background checks and stuff. You don't want to do that with almost 700 researchers. So you have to hire someone doing all that stuff. I think it's HR that usually should do this kind of stuff. And then people submit the same bugs. So this is also happening, and that whole triage is also done by the vendor. So we don't have to do that by ourselves. It's them doing that, and that's fantastic because we can really focus on the vulnerabilities that are important for us. So the lower right one is from 1 year, we have 31 vulnerabilities compared to 5 from the manual audit. It doesn't mean that manual audits are bad, but if you don't have enough in manual audits, we thought that we are super secure with our product. We were not. Actually, researchers found 31. So there is still barriers where you can increase your security. For next year, we will make it public. So then there are no limits, and I guess there will be the next wave. But after that, we will have a really secure product. And I, for myself, I can then really sleep well with that. So when should you do an audit? Before you do a bug bounty program, do an audit. It saves you much of the burdens you have. With a bug bounty program, it's important that you have your basics ready. So if you know that you have shitty developers, don't start a bug bounty program. That's bad. So take care of your people. Then give them the right tools to work with. This is something I learned, for example, from Thomas. Give them the right tools, even if they are expensive, that they can write good code and a good product. Then you can start with a bug bounty program, and then you are even as awesome as Tesla, Google, and others. So then you have the same quality in your product. You can go even further. This is what we do. We love machines and we love humans. That's our way. By the way, that's from the movie Automata. So in the intro speech, it was also short about automation. So we automate both tools. So if on Detectify we find a vulnerability, we can submit that directly via API to our bug bounty program, meaning a researcher can't submit that bug. It's important because imagine if you find a critical vulnerability in your bug bounty program, it costs you 2,500. And if your vulnerability scanner found that as well, you have wasted your money. So we can automate all the way through. This is a public repository, so we have made that public. So everyone, even the ones who are not part of our group, can just grab the code and do the integration by themselves if they have Bugcrowd or Detectify. So for me, that's it. This is really, in a nutshell, bug bounty program, Detectify, bringing that together. If you have any questions, you can drop me questions right here or afterwards via email, LinkedIn, or whatever channel you have. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And I think everyone that is using our product can be lucky that we have someone like you and the team behind you that supports you to have actually such secure products.
Thanks.
There was one question coming in before about the pricing, but you already clarified that, or the pricing grid for the researchers in this bug bounty program. And you also mentioned that the program will go public. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so with the public, if you make it public, then in the internet you can look up 20 minutes, invites hackers and pays hackers to really find vulnerabilities. So that's the idea. So it opens it up much more than today. So then you could say double the amount of researchers, because everyone can find that. Then you have more than 1,000 researchers in that. And this is the goal, to make it public. Then you can also advertise it to your customers and say, we have built a good product, a secure and safe product for you. So you can use that everywhere. And this is then no longer security. It goes beyond that. You can use that for marketing, or also as some kind of product brand that we have a secure product. So that's the core idea around it. And for the money, it's really the money that we pay. That's the scaling factor. If you would do that alone as a small company, you would pay much more for that.
So it's also an additional benefit for companies that are working together with us that TX Group has invested in.
Yes, if you're interested, reach out to me. Then we can talk about how we could onboard you to that program.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for the great insights. And let's head on to the next and last presentation in a few minutes.